Just so you don't let anything get in your way.
Ah, there you are. You've turned into quite a sound investment already. Good work. We're going to be sifting through the ashes of that fight for weeks. NCR Radio's already got wind of it and are having a field day. It sounds like we're going to have to advance our deal here. I just lost water and power in Union City in the last 30 minutes. We ain't got enough boots on the ground to go scout it out and see what happened. I have 2 missions for you, if you're willing. Right. Figured you might. I can only blackmail you for so long. So how's about we work out a settlement? I won't mention your ties to Rossman and his arrest warrants as long as I live, on the condition you take up this mission for me. I just got eyewitness reports of what you're capable of, and I want you on my side. $200 a week plus bonus upon completion of objectives. You get free range of NCR facilities and this outpost. Permit to carry arms in NCR territory, and a license to kill in our behalf. How does that sound? Look, I know you're a bright kid. You'll figure it out on your own eventually. So here's the deal. About 18 years ago, Kevin Rossman sat right there where you are. Told me about a bunch of kids he just saved from death in the wasteland. I was a colonel back then. I watched the command drop the ball on his case, and 20 years later, here we are. Union City is burning, the Raiders are on a rampage, and the word is that the Enclave is sniffing around looking for a weak spot to strike. Rossman was betrayed by the NCR's prospector company, Nova Star. The Mercs were assigned to follow him and break into that vault. But I'd seen Rossman's work. He knew more about the danger in this valley than anyone else. Wasn't shy about shooting them before HQ could act. We need Rossman now more than ever. If you're as close as we get, that's fine by me. Ah, I bet. Sounds about like him. You were just a baby when all this went down. Rossman probably decided to spare you the details. The Wasteland Scouts kept all the Southern California in check for nearly 20 years. They fought the Enclave, Brotherhood, Raiders, super mutants. There's stories of them all over the place. But the one common thread is this. They did good work. Illegal? Yes, but it saved lives. So I don't expect you to know all the details. I expect their training to have rubbed off in some way. See? Now we're on the right track. Let's go over your mission specifics and see what we can plan out. We've got a hotel and apartment buildings north along this road. They cost a lot, but they're fair. If you want free, you should go talk up Marius at his place. Fortress of Solitude, he calls it. He's crazy even on his good days. If you're much into science, or have a friend who is, you can have them bunk with him. He needs an assistant to keep the bots running. All right. Now that we've got all this pleasant talk out of the way, we'd better get hurrying. Union City is without power and water. We've had electricity from up north of New Reno nigh on to 25 years. There's an old relay station on the dry lake routing the juice to us. There's a savage chieftain out east. Has a tribe stationed around a water reserve from before the Great War. It's where we get our pipeline. Raiders must have hit it pretty hard. The scouts say they're fending off some locals. Those same locals are in control of our water supply. I need you to get the power running at the relay, then hightail it over to the Savages' hidden city to fix the water. If my men could hold down the fort traps across the desert, absolutely. But as it stands, we only got about 100 men garrisoned here. If we spread out, there's several thousand raiders backed up by slaves that'll storm down out of those hills and be over the line in minutes. Till NCR's main military force arrives, we're screwed. That's why I'm hiring you. Look, I'd love to sit and talk history with you, but time is running out while we sit around with our thumbs up our ass. All right, fine. What do you want to know? A combination of inflation and stagnation. All complicated mumbo-jumbo I'm not privy to, let alone understand. Long of the short is that NCR expanded across all of California, Oregon, and parts of Nevada, all the way down to old Mexico. Here in San Bernardino, we draw the line. Everything from here on out to Arizona is dry and miserable wasteland. It's a hellish radioactive nightmare. We assimilated every tribe in the wastes, spent millions on getting them pacified and educated, then started them on an IV of tax into our coffers. But it hasn't panned out. The tribals weren't businessmen nor interested in paying jobs. Can't bleed a stone, so President Tandy's plan ran aground. Now we need to expand, to conquer new terrain and find new sources of tax money. That and more electricity and more clean water. Like that exists. The NCR kept up its expansion for years. Now it's run out of room. The economy can't adapt, so they're panicking. Look, NCR Radio likes the Republic to come across as the biggest, most functional organization in the desert, but it's not. LA is swarming with crime. We're talking organized crime, the kind that makes the raiders look like pansies. These are rich men ruling entire cities. The hub is essentially tied up defending corporate interests, banks, and escorting caravans. The politics are as complicated as the trade routes. Every big company has a military credit they pay extra for. Our police and military are looking more and more like private mercenaries. We're also facing an ever-expanding border far to the northern frontier. Then we have a never-ending reconstruction effort. To top it off, there's word our president might be impeached, just like the last one. This country's a mess, kid. Well, this is top secret, so let everybody hear it as a rumor. Scouts say that there's a city far up north. Las Vegas on the old maps. People say it's still up there, untouched, just waiting out in the desert, totally pristine, a ghost town of gold. They also say there's a legendary Hoover Dam just sitting out there, full of clean water. Jameson was on his way up there when he ran into you. But before that, we need to crack this survivalist nut and free I-15. The Senate can't wait. They'll muster forces and we'll take their position. We'll figure out everything else after the dust settles. I drew up this map during the battle. Here, I'll show you where to go. It's a long, dangerous walk. Zaibula is a California savage town out in the hills. There's a canyon they're holed up in where the dunes meet the foothills. They call it the Hidden City, and it's just that. Hard as hell to find. But there is an underground water line runs here to there. The savages turned off the ancient water pump, or it just broke. You'll either have to repair it or find an alternate plan of attack. You could carry it all back on foot, but I imagine that'll make your back a little sore. I'd say you can handle it. That Vault-Tec engineering is about the same as this whole deal. There's a dank old vault out there. Really small, though. All it had was a supply of water. Wonder what in the hell they were thinking. Unless the raiders genuinely fucked it up, it's just a matter of throwing a switch. We replaced all the electrics 20 years ago. This line doesn't feed all of LA, just part. So NCR isn't freaking out about it yet. Hell, if anything, it's buying them time to hit the crime lords. Power's not a giant concern. We've been in the dark before. But it's nice to have cool drinks and fresh food. So you'd better hurry. Well, judging by your vault pass, that's not impossible. I'd say you go check up with old Marius in his base. Just take the road up on north into the fields. It's got this weird cloaking device on it. Turns invisible until you're right on top of it. Marius is pretty crazy. Better get yourself ready. All right, you have your mission. Good luck, kid. You're going to need it. Just make sure to keep an open mind. There are a lot of ways to solve these problems. Not all of them require you to get shot up. I like your enthusiasm. Before you run out and conquer the world, how are you planning on doing it? Can't ask for better. Good luck.